Hey guys, I'm on the North Shore of Hawaii and I'm lucky enough to be at Jamie O'Brien's house. One of the best, if not the best surfer at Pipeline, and let's check out what he's doing now.
Oh god, there's too many jellyfish.
It's such a wonderful life. It's such a wonderful life. It's no fool's paradise. It's such a wonderful life.
Hey guys, welcome to another Occ-Cast. We're at Pipeline and I've got, hands down, one of the best surfers at Pipeline, if not the best, Jamie O'Brien. Thank you, Jamie, for being on the Occ-Cast, matey. You were born and raised in Hawaii. First grew up in Pupukea. Tell us about that. On a ranch kind of thing?
Yeah, well, I was born in Kahuku,
Okay.
and then we lived at Sunset Beach with Derek Dorner until I was 3. We moved up to Pupukea, and we lived up there until I was 6. We lived on a big farm. There was geese and horses. I broke my first bone on a horse, fell off the horse. It's pretty much just a kook up in the mountains, and then the kook went down the hill, and we got a house on the beach at Pipe, and my dad was working lifeguard right next door, and just made me go surf every day.
Every day. If you weren't at school, after school, every day.
Yep, every day was it kind of sucked though. Every day I was like, surf, 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 surf. And I was just like, fuck, is this ever gonna stop? But I was stoked, but it would come down to, I'd come home from school, throw my wetsuit in the bathtub, hang it up, and then I'll go ride bike in the mountains and do something different. And he's like, you surf? Like, yeah, my wetsuit's wet.
How is Mick doing? How's your dad doing?
Yeah, he's doing good. Just kind of just cruising,
cruising?
Doing exactly what he should be doing. And it's cool to return the favor in life and help your parents out, and and keep everybody stoked.
Absolutely. And Derek Dorner, Double D, he used to take you surfing as a kid?
Double D is my godfather, which was always cool, always looking up to him, always trying to ride a bigger wave than him. And I don't even know if that's ever gonna happen, but it's cool things to try and live up to. And him and my dad were best friends growing up.
Oh, cool. Your dad's Australian?
Yep.
Whereabouts did he grow up in Australia?
My dad grew up in Geelong.
Victoria.
And my mom is from Phillip Island. So my dad's family went to Phillip Island to kind of have a vacation house over there, and that's where my mom was. And then, boom.
They met.
And then grandparents, hey, we're moving to Hawaii. You guys want to come with us? Set you up with a job at Turtle Bay. So my dad's first job was a pool at the pool bar at Turtle Bay, which still exists.
It does.
Which is really cool. And and then it was game on.
Wow. And your mum's still in Australia? My
mom hung around for about maybe 8 years, and my dad said it was crazy back in the day. There was no chicks on the North Shore. It was one of 10, and I had every hound chasing her down up and down the beach, and so that didn't really work out too well. And she went on a little walkabout cruise. Yeah. She lives in California somewhere now.
Yeah. And who were your biggest influences growing up, apart from Derek?
Definitely my biggest influences were Johnny Boy Gomes, just the way and his approach, the way he rode Pipeline and Backdoor, and just so powerful, And then obviously, looking up to Sonny, and then here comes Kelly out of nowhere, younger, not relatable, but he lived right down the road, so we're all these little shit groms, climbing over his fence, trying to get, giving him a stack of papers this big to sign all the autographs and stuff, and he would do it all for us. So it was that was definitely a big inspiration.
Let's talk your amateur career, and I want to get into it a little bit more because I know you did compete as an amateur and you've had a lot of success at Pipeline, but you never really did give the QS a good go. And I remember I used to tell you that you should, and you should. Definitely, one of the best surfers that never went on tour. Tell us about why, and
Yeah, I don't really know. I think what happened, my honest opinion was I went on tour too early. I was trying errors. I was trying futuristic surfing, and that was my goal. Kind of getting rewarded for it. I felt like I was kind of did what Dane did. You'll go out and get a 9 and an 8 in one heat, and the next heat you'll fall short with 2 3s. So I that
Dane Reynolds, you mean?
Dane Reynolds. So I felt like that inconsistent pattern. That was before coaches were really locking down and coning in and helping people. I've got to the point on the QS when I was about 22 or 21 that if I made the finals at Haleiwa, I would qualify, or if I made the finals at Sunset and won, I would qualify. There was definitely close calls and like, who knows, shit can happen, but it never happened.
But I mean, like, you're making a serious living out of doing what you do. I mean, you've got your show, who is JOB, and that's doing really well. And,
Yeah.
And even apart from that, you know, you get paid really well by your sponsors. I mean, there's not many people that make a really good living not being on, not on tour. Yeah.
It came to me like when I was, I like totally looked up to Bruce, and I really liked Bruce's pattern that he took. And being a free surfer, I was like, I really liked that. I wanted to make movies. I wanted to do this. And I remember I went to Rip Curl and said, we're making a Jamie O'Brien movie. They said, we're not ready. So we did it. They liked it. They jumped into bed with it. And you know, we made an awesome movie. And then I followed the path. I won the Pipe Masters. And then they're going, and I was baffled. I was like, I never thought I'd win the Pipe Masters. Sure enough, I'm up there like, holy shit, like childhood dream, turning 21, like shit's real, you know, like, and then like they're really pushing the contest thing on me, and that was at a time that I was like really, I was against it. Yeah, they wanted me to ride on the CT, like no ands, ifs, or buts, contracts, everything like balanced out to like, if you don't make it, your contract's going like this, and if you make it, your contract's going like this. So I didn't like that, and that's when we kind of like went into negotiation. We started shopping around, and you know, they asked me like, hey, what do you want? And I went out and found what I wanted, which I got lucky maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you got Red Bull too, and
Yeah.
that must be really good. You've been with them for ages.
Yeah, probably almost like 15 plus years. I mean, it's cool when you get a sponsor behind you that supports you and really loves what you do, and it helps create this like healthy relationship where you're happy, and you know, I get it. I like to build content. You know, I've won the biggest contest in the world. I get it, and my whole thing now is build content. It's easy. It's fun.
That's what you're doing,
and I love having fun. So
let's talk about that. It's JOB. How long have you been doing it? How many series have you done? And who's the guy? Is it Poop? What's his name?
Poops.
Poops.
Yeah.
Where'd you find him?
I found him in this old house that used to be right here.
Oh, really? It's so funny.
So we made the movie Who is JOB?
Yeah.
It was kind of a serious movie, but I tried to have a little fun in it, but it was super serious. But I felt like, okay, plateau, this is maybe my peak of my surfing. Bam, there it is, you know. And then they were like, hey, you want to do a web show? I said, okay, well, whatever. Like, you know, that's what they want to do. Well, let's do it. You know, about a month later, my buddy calls me. He's like, hey, these guys are like staying in that one room. There's like 10 guys in one room. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? What's going on? So I walked over here to this old house that used to be here, pissed off, looking around like, bro, who are these guys? I walk in, they're like laid out like sardines. I'm like, bro, get the fuck out of here. And these guys, oh, and you know, they're splitting the rent $100 each.
Yeah.
10 guys, one small room, you know, 13 by 10. Like, I was just snapping. And Poops was one of the guys. And, and he was like, he was so oblivious to the whole thing, what was going on, you know. He thought he was in their room locked down for the whole winter. And one thing led to another, and he kind of like,
He grew on you.
yeah, you know, his name was Poopies, and I was like, I feel bad. This guy's name's Poopies, and he ended up hanging out with us a couple times, and then we went fishing at night, and I had these octopus and like these cut up fish. I'm like, hey, you want to paddle these out? And he's like, okay. I was like, oh, this guy's pretty tapped. Like middle of the night, paddling our fishing lines out like a mile, and I was like, this guy's tapped. And after that, I was like, hey, do this. He's all, okay. Hey, do this. Okay. And we just started filming. It was like, it was crazy.
You got to check out that series, Who is JOB? So it's James Duncan O'Brien.
Yeah.
That's your name.
That's my real name.
Yeah. So cool. Let's talk about Pipeline. You've broken both legs of Pipeline. Can you let us in on that? I mean, that was some serious wipeouts.
Yeah, that kind of sucked. I was about 15 years old the first time I broke my leg, and I was like, and once again, my dad's like, get out there, get out there, get out there. Like, okay, frick, I'll go out, frick, you know, like throw my wetsuit on, like go out. First wave, I airdrop on like a 6-foot wave, and I land, and the lip lands on my head, pushes me through my board straight to the bottom, and my leg goes into a cave like this, and it turns. And then I was like, oh my God, I felt it like crack. And then I was like, oh my God, my leg. And I pop up, and my dad's like, my dad was like a lifeguard, so like by the time I got to the beach, I'm like crawling out the beach, and he's like, "You're fine. Get on the thing." And he like drove me up to the top, and I'm like sitting there. I'm like, "Oh, I think I gotta go to the hospital." And he's like, "Nah, you're fine. You're fine." And then next thing you know, the thing was just poof, and I was like, "Oh my god!" So first leg, it sucked.
And there's the scars there.
I was grabbing the wrong leg. I broke that one too.
That one first.
This one first, and then the second time, my dad's like, "Oh, the photographers are here." I went.
How old were you then? Second time.
Like 17.
17, yeah.
So when pipe is good, every photographer out.
Yeah.
It's like you have to go out. And my dad, of course, he's making sure I'm going out. Get out there, get out there. I'm like, all right, I'm going out. First wave, drop in, grabbing rail. The backwash comes up, and then I hit the foam ball like this, and then the backwash just smashes down and compressed me, and it gave me a spiral fracture that kind of went all the way up through here.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons why it was the worst break of my life is because about 2 weeks later, the rocks fell down at Waimea. Mm-hmm. The roads were closed. You couldn't get to the North Shore, and it was the middle of February, March, and the waves are as good as they get. And there was like literally 10 guys out of pipeline for 2 weeks of the best surf ever.
And you couldn't surf?
Nope.
No. And Jamie, did that scare you away from pipeline a little bit?
No, I obviously just kept coming back, you know what I mean? But I definitely think like things that scare me is like what happened to Kalani Chapman, like one of my best friends. Like I'm still like pretty shook from that, but I guess it's one of those things, when that wave comes your way, it doesn't matter how big it is, it's just when a wave's perfect and you're going. Yeah. Like it's pretty much you black out. You look at it and you're like, next thing you know, you're like, holy shit, I made that shit,
Wow, that's radical. So well, tell us about the 2004 Pipeline Masters. You were one of the youngest ever to win Pipeline. 21?
21 years old. I think you got me on that one. Were you 17?
Yeah, I think I was
18?
17.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I shouldn't have said that.
No, it was pretty surreal. I was actually in Brazil on the QS. I had I tore my MCL in Brazil. Mm-hmm. I ended up having to fly home, and this was about September. So here we go. I'm nursing an injury. I got a knee brace. I'm like, I don't even know if I could surf the Pipe Masters. It's kind of weird. Like, Kai Garcia came up to me and he's like, "Oh, you might surf a little smarter when you wear a knee brace, huh?" Yeah, right. And I was like, "Oh, that's pretty weird, But like, I think like he was like switched on. I think due to my success in that event is because I was surfing smarter, because I had to be careful because I still had a medium tear on my MCL, and it just made my first heat, made my second heat, made my third heat. Next thing you know, I'm going into the quarters. I'm in the final day of the Pipe Masters, which is like the goal. You make the final day. The rest of it's rubbish. Yeah. It's never to be remembered. Nah. so then you're in the in the quarters. It's me, Kelly.
Bruce, Irons, and Garcia.
Oh, that was the finals. But I ran up. Oh, I had this heat in the quarters, and it was the semis. No, it was the quarters. I don't know. But right. I had this heat, and I was like. I remember Bruce, I'm like, "Bruce, come on, block Kelly, and like, or something." And he's like, he just looked at me, he's like, "Fuck you." And I was like, "Frick, like, he's not gonna do it." And Bruce caught this wave, and then I caught the next one, and I got a high score, kicked out, and I was like, "Holy shit, I'm in the final." I remember paddling in, and Andy was like, "Dude, you're in the final." Yeah. And I was like, "Holy shit, I'm in the final," Because I had a previous final in 2001, and I was about 17, and I literally blacked out. I was in the final, and I was like, I'm gonna go sit in the little corner bowl and hopefully get a couple fun ones, and then from that moment on, I was like, I never want to lose in a final ever again.
Yeah, right.
It's something. So I make the finals. It's all my idols. It's Bruce Irons, Kalani Robb, and Sonny Garcia. Yeah. And they're sick rights, and there's only a few lefts. So I'm like thinking, okay, Kalani's going to be trying the dog lefts. Yep. I like the lefts. I like the rights. I'm pretty much screwed. I got Sonny and Bruce. Dude, these guys sat on each other the whole final. Because
you won it on lefts. 2 lefts.
I won it on lefts.
Yeah. I remember it. It was like rainy kind of.
Yeah, and I was like, I remember paddling right by Kalani Robb, like, after I just got a 7, bro, and I paddled right out and got a 9 point something, and I just freaking paddled around Kalani. Kalani Rao was so baffled, and I was baffled. Next thing you know, like, these guys are like in almost combination situations, and I was like, holy shit.
There was no priority back then.
No.
No.
And okay, it was like a 40-minute final. I had it wrapped up within 8 minutes, but you can't say it's a wrap, you know. I was like, oh, please, no waves, please, no waves. I'm like praying to God out there, like, come on, pipeline, like some weird spiritual shit, you know, like stop waves, stop, you know, and like, you know, there was a couple more waves coming through, and then I remember like the set coming in, and they're like counting it down, like 30 seconds. I could see them all coming, the beach is whistling. I'm like, no, this is how it's gonna end. And then boom, I swear on my life, like I couldn't even be near this right, because these guys been like mad dogging these rights that are gonna come through, like they're on. And yeah, right as Sonny was paddling, the horn blew, and it was like Sonny got like a high 9, maybe better, and then Bruce got like a high 9 and maybe even better. But like that's the thing with contests, like it could be 2 seconds off from you winning or losing. And that was the first time I ever won the Pipe Masters.
Well, that's all time. That was before it was a WSL event. It was ASP back then. The WSL changed the tour pretty much completely. What do you think about that? And do you watch the all the contests around the world, those WCT events?
I do watch all the contests. Yeah. I find it entertaining because now I sit at home a lot more than you know. I don't know. It's fun. It's fun to watch. I'm stoked to watch John. I'm stoked to watch what those guys are doing and how they're progressing. Like I say, I like to log in on the final day. I think they're doing a good job. I think they're doing a bad job by weaning out all the Hawaii surfers to not compete in their events. And I get it. Like they're trying to keep the same structure throughout the whole year. But you know, the birthplace of surfing, you know, like there's a lot of good guys that want to be a part of these events. And I think it's been a struggle for years on years and years of guys getting into the event. But I think there should be something definitely in play for guys that won the Pipe Masters, guys that won the Vulcan Pipe Pro, because you don't win a pipe contest. Basically, you don't win a contest at Pipeline on a handout. You really earn it. And if you could win 2, 3, 4, 5 events out there, I feel I should be able to, you know, go out there and compete with the world's best. And if they can't beat me, then tough shit.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
But I feel the system, everybody wants to be in the Pipe Masters, and I get it.
Yeah.
That's how I got my win.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a wild card into the main event, but that's how I got my win. So, I mean, for the future, I would like to see, you know, the young kids get a shot, because for me...
I agree. I mean, especially at Pipeline, but I think all around the world there should be more wild cards, because there's a lot of good surfers out there that can't get in it. They can't be bothered doing the QS, and, you know.
I think for me, if I didn't win the Pipe Masters, I wouldn't have what I have in my life, you know, and I really feel like that was the icing on the cake. That still keeps me relevant, you know what I mean? And I feel like maybe you could say the same, like, that, I mean, you won 1 or 2.
Yeah, no, just one, a couple seconds, but
you know, but like that's the icing on the cake. That's what people remember, that and a world title, you know? So I would like to see a younger generation kid win the Pipe Masters and maybe build a house next to me, you know, so that way we don't live in this corporate world, you know, maybe these like, I don't know, maybe guys like me could kind of take over this little area.
That'll be good. Let's talk about John. I know you guys are really good friends. You grew up together.
Yeah, dude, he's such a gnarly surfer. I mean, even like going, like, I mean, at Pipe, I'm not worried about him. Like, it's on, dude. Like, he for sure he worries when we're in the water together. And that's why he never calls me to surf, because I'll take all his waves. So it's kind of funny, but yeah, he doesn't. He just calls me to go sail. He calls me to go do other things that don't involve surfing, and I like that relationship between him and I don't want to be that friend. Like, hey, how's it going? I hope you win. You know, like I don't believe in all that bullshit. I like to leave people alone and let them do their thing. You know, John is one of my best friends, and I can't believe what he's done, and you know, and his mom to raise those 3 kids, and like he's fucking gnarly. You go free surfing with John, and you're like, I'm a fucking coot. Like, you're over it. You're like, I'm a coot. Yeah. Like, you're baffled. He does the biggest errors, and you're just like,
it's like,
oh man, dude.
I think earlier on this year we had the kids over for a Bloodlines camp, and it was onshore 8-foot back door, and he'd done the hugest flip, and all the kids just could not believe it. Like, that's what you got to do when you get older. They're like, what?
Yeah, or they can go womping and have some fun with me.
Yeah,
go big wave rafting.
Oh, well, yeah, good question. I know, you know, pipes in your backyard, but what is your favourite wave in the world? I know it's pipe. No, but there's other waves around the world.
I got a couple, but the reason why pipe is my favorite wave in the world is because the reason why pipe's my favorite wave in the world is because we got such a tight group of friends, and we get the best waves in the world right here, and amongst a small group of super solid surfers. Other waves, Neos is definitely way up there in my top 5. It's the most insane right slab, perfect, phenomenal, you know, photogenic video. P-Pass is insane.
P-Pass, yeah.
I love Desert Point. I've, you know, got some of the longest barrels of my life at Desert Point. Super Sucks is insane.
Wow. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know, but I have not been to Namibia.
No, neither have I.
And it's taunting me.
Is it?
And I'm planning on going there. It's
yeah.
just such a mission that
I know.
every time that swell pops up, I know it's happening, but I don't jump on the plane. So definitely for sure that's the best wave in the world. So
It looks like it.
I'm going.
You got to go to J Bay and hang for a while, and then go from there or something.
Last time I was at J Bay, we got robbed while we were sleeping. And
you did?
Woke up with nothing.
You don't want to go
And I'm
back.
glad I didn't wake up.
Yeah, for sure. Best pipe swell you've ever surfed?
Whoa. Best pipeline I've ever surfed.
It must just all melt into one.
Yeah, it's kind of a big speed blur out here
Yeah.
for good waves.
And I was going to ask you that too. I mean, you've got your group of friends and you're all there when pipe's perfect, and there's a lot of other little hanger-oners and the pecking order goes down. It's organised chaos, but does it bother you, the crowd? I mean, it's snapper, the crowd doesn't bother me.
It does and it doesn't. You know, there's times you're going to go out there and have worse sessions, and then sometimes you're just going to go out there and all your friends are going to be pissed off at you at the end of the day, and vice versa. You know, it kind of goes that way. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I remember last Christmas I woke up and it was 12 foot, as big as pipe can handle, and it was just going Richter. Like, for 3 hours, it was as good as it gets. Like, there are waves steaming through that you're just like, that wave could either make me or break me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not talking, you know, broken legs, like more beyond critical injuries, you know, like that was insane. But I really think the best thing about living here at Pipeline and the best surfs I've ever had haven't been the biggest. They've just been the days that no one decided to show up, or everybody went to Haleiwa, and I paddle out and I get like 15 mental waves in a row, and I'm like, this is why I live here. This is why. Because sometimes you're sitting here in the middle of the winter and you got like kooks jumping over your fence. You got like guys like, you know, kicking in fences and like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it just turns into like chaos for a month around here. And then summertime's just nobody around.
Do you love summertime here?
I love it. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy it.
What do you do? You go surf Goat Island?
I don't surf.
You don't surf, no.
Basically, you know, try and be on the Waimea River thing. Sometimes go down the Sandies, get some barrels at the shore break. We got Hobie Cat, so we go sailing with John guys. We race down the Haleiwa and race back, and it's pretty fun. We sink our boats and figure out how the hell to get them back to the shore and have to call the lifeguards and get rescued. Free diving, fishing. It's fun. And go hunting. It's a good place. Yeah.
Unreal. Let's talk big waves. That far out, the last time the Eddie was on, you were charging. Like seriously, it was big.
Thanks.
And it's a bummer that they're not having it this year. But like, what about, you ever thought about doing that big wave world tour? Does Nazare interest you? Mavericks? I mean, well, they don't have Mavericks. I mean, well, the Porto Escondido.
I think in the big wave surfing scheme of things, the risk is not worth the reward.
Really? That Nazare when it's huge, that looks just out of control.
They said it's like a giant beach break. It's like Jaws, but a beach break on steroids.
And you'll get picked off at any point in time.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm over that bullshit. I mean, like, hey, don't get me wrong. Like, if I was there and it was on, like,
You would be
I don't
okay.
know why I have this problem and you have the same problem probably, is when that wave comes, you're going. And, that's just the way I look at it. Like, yeah, I caught a 30-foot wave at Waimea Bay and my heat made it to the bottom and freaking told myself, don't fall. And that's exactly what I did as I fell. And, like, you know, and, like, multiple waves and kind of bummed a little bit, but I was stoked to, you know, like, get the biggest wave of my life. I felt like I got robbed in the Eddy, but what do you do? I'm not too worried about won the contest or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And unless you win, it don't matter.
Yeah.
So
How many eddies have you competed in?
I surfed in 2 and I've been invited to 12.
Wow.
Yeah. So I surfed 1 in 2008.
Oh, because they didn't have a lot of them, did they?
Yeah. They're sometimes they'll run like 3 years in a row, and then sometimes they run for 10 years.
Yeah.
So who knows when they're going to run again.
On a completely different side of it, I hear you dive for sunrise shells, and I
Yep.
love sunrise shells. I've found one once on the
Oh,
beach.
nice.
I was running, like picking up rubbish, and I found a sunrise shell.
That's sick.
How many have you found?
I probably found 5,000.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Really?
I know where the gold mine is.
You do?
Yeah, dude, it's
Oh,
like
you're
it's
not telling
crazy.
anyone. Do you
It's
sell those
crazy.
or what? They can go for lots of money, can't they?
Yeah, for sure.
They can. Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't have time to do that.
No.
But I love diving for shells. I
Yeah.
mean, it is littered out there.
Is it really?
But the problem is the reef goes like this
Yeah.
to 60 feet, and then it goes like this, and it goes 100. So there's like a 40-foot shelf,
Wow.
and then it goes out, and then there's sand pockets that collect the shells, and
Oh,
over
okay.
time, you know, like
They don't get washed up on the beach that much.
not that much. Certain places, you
Yeah.
know, Sunset,
Yeah.
Keikis, Waimea, Haleiwa,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's about it. Or maybe a little bit around here sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, tell us about that story in 2016 when you assisted the rescue with the bodyboarder who was drowning. Where was that?
It was,
here.
Yeah, I was right here at Pipe. It was funny though, because I was checking the waves, and then I actually watched the wave, but it was like a 4 or 5 foot wave. It was a boogie boarder. I didn't really think anything of it. I just, you know, speed blur.
Yeah.
Come back to my house, and someone was working on a Volcom house in the front, and they go, "There's a guy down. There's a guy down." And I was like, "What? There's a guy drowning." And I'm like, oh, I ran straight inside my gate, grabbed my board, flew my phone, my stuff out of my pocket, ran straight down the beach. I didn't even know where he was. And I just started bolting as fast as I could. And I got out to the lineup, and he was in between Gums and Backdoor. And Andre Botho was right there too, and he had him. And I'm like it was like kind of lucky, you know, and he was a big guy, and he was already like blue. And I was like, oh my God. And we like got him on my big cat surfboard, and like plopped him on there, and we just like started going, and the wave just rolled us, and we lost him, and then we found him, and it's like pretty heavy, like surreal situation, you know, to like we're like normally paddling on that rip, we're like, oh, whenever I'm in the rip, like when you're holding like a guy that weighs 200 plus pounds, like, and his life is on your line, you know, and I was very grateful to kind of be there in that moment, and we assisted him to the beach, and he was purple.
It was purple.
He was not breathing and
Saved him?
foaming out of the mouth, and we brought him up the beach, and lifeguards were right there within seconds. You know, Andre's a lifeguard, and yeah, they just started reviving him right there. It took them a while to like get the beat going, and like it's pretty crazy, you know, and like he actually, you know, he did a good recovery and stuff, but like it's pretty crazy, like kind of happens somewhat so often out here.
It does, yeah.
And more often than any other surf break in the world. And it definitely scares me. But like I say, that thing pops up, and you're like, oh, this is the one. And you know, surfing's a really greedy sport, so you're kind of like, this is my wave, like, you know, and it kind of sucks, you know, but, you know, I don't know. That's why I like riding the Sup Squatch and like doing, you know, more team events with all the friends and filming for the show, because I personally feel surfing is the most greedy sport in the world.
Yeah.
But
I was just watching the show, and when you went into Costco and bought that board, the softboard, but that was early in the days. You're sponsored off a softboard company now. What are they called?
Cat Surf.
Cat Surf.
So they make fun, cool, floral boards.
Yeah.
Basically a board just built to have fun.
But they go, don't they? I mean, it seems like they go for you.
I'm stoked.
Yeah.
I caught a 20-foot wave at Jaws, and it was literally like I probably got a pair of fins over here, and it was chaotic. I took off on this wave. I was like, I'm going straight, you know. I'm like, that's my mentality anyways at Waimea. I'm going straight. But I was at Jaws, so you're going straight for the rocks too, you know. I'm like, I remember going, whoa, and then whoa, and I was like, oh, I made it to the bottom. And I could feel the fins like,
What are they, plastic fins?
yeah. I'll grab a pair real quick.
Let's have a look.
Where are they?
On top of the ski?
They're somewhere. Frick.
Right where the dog food was. They were right where the dog food was on the ground right there.
Okay. See, these are pretty much the same exact fins that I caught a 20-foot wave at Jaws on.
No way.
Check them out. So,
it's not. You're not
you
supposed
know?
to do that.
And look, it's plastic screws,
And
you
then the
know.
plugs.
But like I did it, and I popped up, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And the GoPro is still recording. I was on the front because we just like pushed it through.
Yeah.
And the next thing just broke it into 30 pieces, bro. The next wave landed on my head.
Oh, it
I
did.
never saw anything ever again. And then I was trying to like climb up on the rocks at Jaws,
Yeah.
and like the board was like scattered on the rocks, like in 30 pieces. We had to like go down there the next day and
pick
like,
it all up.
pick them up.
I'm glad you did that.
Surprisingly not, like if you crank these things way down,
Yeah.
they hold pretty good.
I do. And they don't hum or anything. Bit of humming.
Nah, I had
Why not?
more normal boards hum than a.
Yeah.
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 It's all right though. Unpredictable board is a fun board.
Yeah.
So sometimes it gets unpredictable.
I got to get one of those.
Sure.
Tell us about the Tom Carroll surfboard story. Did you get that board off the beach or did someone else?
I got that board off the beach.
You got the board off the
I got
beach.
the board off the beach. What's Tom's brother's name?
Nick.
I was sitting next to Nick because I was hanging. I think Nick was like friends with my dad. I was sitting next to him.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, can I grab the board? And he's like, yeah, go for it. You know, and I ran down, grabbed the board, brought it up to my house. Stoked, the most stokest grom. I had like Shane Powell's board up there. I had Kelly's broken board. Like, you know, I'm like, put it in my yard. Stoked, you know, whatever. And I swear on my life. Liam's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, no.
Liam came over. He's like, "Hey, can I get the dimensions off the board?" I said, "Yeah, no worries." I never seen it again.
Oh, he took it.
Well, I don't know who took it. It disappeared.
It disappeared.
So,
Oh,
but
no.
but then apparently Tom said he had it, and then something, I don't know, some weird shit.
Some weird shit happened because what's the story like? I think he found the other piece and I think he took it home. Apparently. Is that right? No one knows. It's a mystery.
Hey, I had the board though.
You got the board.
But in theory, it wasn't really my board. He was just like, "Yeah, go get it." So whatever.
But it was a half a board or 3/4.
Well, I got the front, and then I think I ended up getting the back.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
I'm like, unless I'm lying, but I'm not lying.
no,
I don't
no.
mean to lie.
Why would you?
That was a broken board for crying out loud.
How about just one last couple of questions? How about you appeared in Step Into Liquid and Blue Crush? How was Blue Crush? What did you do?
I didn't really do anything in Blue Crush. I almost ended up on the poster, which would have been cool because
Yeah.
I would have made a lot of money. I ended up doing a bunch of extra stuff.
Yeah.
I ended up a little bit in the movie, but basically one of my best friends was in the movie, and
Okay.
he made a shit ton of cash, and she had a great time. I don't know. It definitely made chicks get super psyched on surfing. You
Oh, it
know,
sure did.
after that, it was like the surfing girl boom,
Boomed.
booming, super hard.
Super hard. The girls are ripping now, yeah?
Yep, it's good to see. They're getting gnarly.
They
Before
are.
I'd be like, oh, I'll smoke them, you know, like no problem. Now I'm like, oh man, dude, those turns Tyler Wright and Carissa, like, I don't think I have the consistency. That'd be pretty funny.
No, let's not serve against them.
No.
How about foiling, Jamie? I believe that you're doing a bit of that.
I definitely have been doing some foiling. I feel like it's like the perfect thing to do when the waves suck and it's too windy to dive, and it's just like it fits to this category that you don't understand why you're going out on a windy day like this and it's this big. It's just the funnest thing in the world. I'm going straight. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why. Some people hate it.
Really?
I love it.
Yeah, I've never tried it.
You never tried it?
No, but where I live, like, you know where I live, it's
Yeah.
Snapper, it could be all time.
Joel's hooked. I was talking to
Joel does it.
Joel.
Yeah.
He just said he just can't get enough of it. It's so weird. You're just like, I feel like it's like you got this feeling like you're locked into this barrel, and the time just stands still.
Really?
And I feel like the time just stands still because it's so peaceful and so
Oh,
quiet,
it's quiet, yeah?
and it's so fast,
Yeah.
and it's so fun.
Wow.
It's just that day that sucks normally turned into like a full day of like an activity. Super rad.
Super cool. And tell us about the two movies that you surfed in and produced, Freak Show and Freakside.
Yeah, so Freak Show was kind of the beginning. I collected a bunch of clips. I just wanted to make a surf movie. I was inspired by Bruce and Andy and all these guys that are making movies, and you know, like yourself, the Occumentary and North Shore.
Yeah.
But like I just wanted to make one because I always felt like when I was writing for Rip Curl in my younger days that they never I would go on trips with Mick Fanning and Darren O'Rafferty and Zane Harrison and all these guys, and I would only have like 4 days to shoot, and then I was in the movie, you know, and I was like, God, I just want to like work on something, you know, and like I felt like Freak Show was the first time I actually got to work on something, because I was getting tired of like people saying that I was a pipe guy. I wanted to be, you know, progressive in the aerials and all the maneuvers. So that was kind of like my movement forward to kind of get away from pipe. It's always in my back pocket and go forward with all the maneuvers. And that's kind of what I did, and followed it up with Freak Side. I don't know, it was just fun making movies, man. It's like just filming, and I want to showcase my surfing. And sometimes I feel like I always wanted to see more of Kelly Slater, but you know, he was so busy for 10 or 12 years trying to win world titles.
You see more of him
Or
free
maybe
surfing,
20.
you mean?
Yeah, you know, because he's so good, and like and it's just like it drives you to surf. And I didn't want to be that guy to like leave people out on the story of my life and surfing. So that was a kind of a good moment in my career that I kind of got to solidify my surfing and you know, let the world, you know, check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
I know. Well, that's why I've always thought your surfing would be so relevant for the Pro Tour, because you've got the big wave down pat, and you've got your airs down pat, so, and you've got big carbs, so. But anyway, you just do what you do.
It's working.
It's working.
I remember though. I remember watching you win your first world title. When did you win your world title?
1999.
Okay, so 1999, you were on the stage at the Pipe, right? That's when you won it. And my friends and I were super psyched, you know, and when you won it, you like threw your board up like this, and you're like this. You did this like really funny smile, and we would walk around for like a couple of years like, oh, I'm Occy. Like, it was just really funny. It's not really a question to ask you, but like we thought we were Occy for like years, and we just throw up our smile. But I remember watching that moment when you when you won the world title, and I was like, we were stoked on you. So
thanks, Jamie.
good job.
Cheers, matey. Thank you.
Congrats on your
Thank
success.
you. And you too. Keep it up.
See, I want to be like Occy when I'm his age, you know? We're still getting paid to do what we love, and
We do.
and we're having fun.
Exactly.
And it's not easy, but you just got to work hard at it.
Yep. That's what you got to do.
There's your success story.
Beautiful. Hey, thank you so much, Jamie, for being on the Occ-Cast. I really appreciate it. Good luck in the rest of the winter and your shows. Keep up those crazy things that you do.
I heard we're going to go night surfing maybe
We're going to go night, if that's okay.
Yeah, let's
I'd
do
love
this.
to.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's another Occ-Cast, guys.
So, Occy and I are going to go surf backdoor right now. Everybody's coming in. We got some lights. We're going to go light up, hopefully get a barrel, a couple turns. He's got a setup on the back of his board right here. One facing back to like catch the spray, other two forward, just in case he's in the barrel. I think it's going to be a nice little afternoon, perfect for the loom cubes. Not too big, not too small. Thanks, Occy. It's going to be fun.
Let's do it.
That was super fun, bro. Good times. Little afternoon sesh. I heard you got a nice little runner.
I did. I got a couple turns off.
I promise you, the turns look better when it's darker.
I bet.
Oh god, there's too many jellyfish.
It's such a wonderful ride. It's such a wonderful